This is Brother Andrew Mohammed, aka the Investgator. I'm one of the directors of the Westside Young Leaders Academy. We've been in operation for about 6 years. My fellow directors are David Okoro and Brother Mark Mohammed, and we have a great team of brothers and sisters that help us, especially Kirsty and Natasha on the administration side, and Sister Sharon on the actual logistics of how the WILA work. We've been in operation, as I said now, for about 6 years. We set up the WILA because we believe that there was a need for role models and guidance for black boys. This was missing within the mainstream society and in mainstream education. I run a company called Real Talk, Real Action that work in schools up and down the country, but I realised that there was something needed, something extra that was missing, especially when dealing with the peculiarities of black boys and growing up in this society. So myself and the fellow director set up the Westside Young Leaders Academy. There is the Southside Young Leaders Academy and the Eastside Young Leaders Academy, which is much older and much larger than ourselves. We're like the baby in truth, but we do our works in West London. But the great thing about it is that we're building a community around the support of our African and Caribbean boys. There's definitely a need for this, because many of our black boys are growing up without that positive role models about what it does it mean to be black, what does it mean to be African, what is my potential, what is my history, where is my culture, where's my traditions, where's our folklores. And so we personally believe that a man can only be made a man and help to be a man like diamond cuts diamond. So we realise that the black men in our society, we're letting it side down, to be honest with you. We get great support from our sisters and various revolutionaries and activists like Brother Nia and what have you, okay? But we're very thin on the ground. Our projection for the future, because right now we operate on a Saturday basis, and we run for about 3 hours between 10 and 1 o'clock. And in that short space of time, we've built up quite a steady format of young leaders that have gone into the community. We work with various companies. One of our greatest backers, believe it or not, is one of the largest computer consultants in the world, Accenture. So I really want to give big thanks to Accenture, because they've taken on several of our students, pupils from WILA, and given them 3-year apprenticeships and flown them all over the world. They've worked in Spain, they've worked in Portugal, they've been based in Manchester, Liverpool, Bristol, working with the top 500 Fortune companies. We've got to give massive thanks as well to Sister Jazz, who runs Nubian Life Resource, which is an elderly African Caribbean home that specialises extensively with our elders. And we've created a great working relationship there. They've given our young boys work experiences there, and plus we've done joint events looking after the elderly there, which shows that the black boys there are breaking the stereotypes that it's all about material wealth. They've done some great works in the community, and that we try to show them that leaders are the best servers in the community. So we're doing a lot of work within that format, but also the projection for the future is that we really want to create our own schooling network. We really want to take our boys, we've just taken them from 3 hours per week to taking them for the whole 7 days, and create a community hub of Young Leaders Academy all over London and then all over the UK, which is specialising in bringing out the excellence of not just the black boys, but also the black girls, and a parenting programme. Because even though we've not got that system yet, we've started a parents' university that meets on a termly basis and a half-termly basis, I should say, which really we bring in outside speakers who specialise in parenting techniques. And so we really want to create that into an establishment whereby for 24 hours, 7 days a week, we're serving the community and rebuilding the community here in the UK.
Good evening, family. My name is Brother Mark Mohammed. I'm one of the directors of Westside Young Leaders Academy. Westside Young Leaders Academy was started over 6 years ago. I work in many schools, as does Brother Andrew, one of our fellow directors. We said at a point, brother, we're working in many schools. Let us found something that we can create, something that our people bring our children to. So we founded Westside Young Leaders Academy. We had interaction with Eastside Young Leaders Academy, and we saw the good works that they were doing, so we decided to replicate that in West London. What are we doing? We're working with our young black boys, which we all know is sorely needed to try and give them a sense of identity, a sense of pride, a sense of who they are, and to try and allow them to be able to excel academically within the school system which they are in. We only have one Saturday that we work with them, but we do many, many good things with them. We work on their posture, their bearing. How do they stand? Are they confident as a young black man? Can they speak? Can they express themselves clearly? Can they learn information and then relay that information? So this is what we're doing. One of the things that we're doing today with them is they're doing presentations. We want them to be able to deliver with poise, showing preparation, and that they've planned. So Westside Young Leaders Academy is sorely needed. We need more agencies like this. Not just ours, more. And we're willing to work in cooperation with other bodies as well to try and further our youth's education, to make sure what we see is taking place out there on the streets does not befall them, because they are supremely talented, they are so resourceful, and they're so powerful. We just need to work with them to bring out that genius that is within.
My name is David Okoro, and I am one of the directors and founders of Westside Young Leaders Academy. We set up Westside Young Leaders Academy nearly 7 years ago, and the reason why we set up Westside is because as a concerned group of men, we were concerned and worried about the life chances for black African Caribbean boys in London and beyond. If you look at all of the statistics, unfortunately our boys are represented negatively in all of the major indicators, whether that's exclusion from school, whether it is achievement when they leave school, unemployment and criminality. So we had a choice really, do we just complain and moan, or do we try and do something constructive and positive? And that's why we set up Westside. We set up Westside Young Leaders Academy to bring out the greatness within our boys, because we know it's already there. So our role is to bring that greatness out, and we do that by running a series of workshops and events, and by offering mentoring, whether that's mentoring within school or outside of school, to really get our boys to focus on key things. And those key things are a strong knowledge and understanding of self. Who am I? Where do I come from? Where am I going? And then supporting them through school and also into the careers. Our biggest challenge as an organisation is constantly battling and working against the negativity that's out there. Too many people in our community are negative, unfortunately, and unfortunately we're not providing the right support as a community for our young people. Never mind our boys, but our young people in general. So we see it as our role to provide that kind of positive support and influence to black boys, to help them to be the best that they can be. In terms of funding, we are self-funded, so we don't receive any funding from the local authority or from central government. All of our fundraising, all of our resources in terms of financial resources, we provide ourselves, and we think that's really important. Also in terms of self-determination, we don't have the local authority telling us what we can or what we can't do. They can't tell us what we can call ourselves or what group of people who we work with. It's really important that also we demonstrate to the boys that a black organisation doesn't have to run to the local authority or central government for its survival. We can survive via the kind support that we receive from our parents and also from our community.
So what kind of support do you need from the parents of the boys?
I think it's a couple of things really. One is that they stay engaged with the process. So it's not just the dropping off and disappearing. It's about being constantly engaged with what's happening here, because we see ourselves as a partnership. and the partnership is us and our parents. And if they're not engaged, and if they don't become engaged in what we're trying to do, then it's difficult for the boys to become engaged also. So that's probably that's the key influence and support that we need from our parents.
And what kind of trips do you organise for the boys?
We organise a number of trips. We have taken our boys to universities, we've taken our boys to museums. I mean, just only last week, we went to the British History Museum, and Brother Andrew Mohammed showed our boys the Egyptian exhibition there, which was fantastic. We've been to the Black Cultural Archives. We also had a residential in the summer. And in terms of our future plans, we plan to take the boys to Ghana next year, or February 2020, which we're calling the Coming Home Tour, where our boys will be doing constructive work in Ghana, going into schools and running workshops, and also being involved in projects, in community projects in Ghana as well. So
any parents that are interested in coming to the Westside Young Leaders Academy, where can they find you?
They can find us online on www.wylauk.com. We're also on Facebook, we're also on Twitter. But I would say if you pop along to Capital City Academy on a Saturday during term time, you can speak to myself, you can speak to my colleagues. And Capital City Academy is in Willesden. It's Doyle's Garden in Willesden. We are 6 or 7 minutes away from Kensal Green Station. And we are happy for parents to come and observe what we do. We're happy for young people to come and observe what we do. Essentially, what we need to do is ensure that our young people have access to organisations who are happy to support them. And also, if they go onto the NABSS website too, so NABSS website is www.nabs.org.uk. You can find all of our details on this website, and lots of other information about other Saturday schools and other academies in London and beyond.
And did you get an award last year?
We did receive an award last year from NABSS for the work that we do, and we're really blessed. We're not here to receive awards, to be honest. That's not our intention, but we were really pleased and honoured that we received an award from NABSS, and we feel blessed to have received that also.
Ready?